What's up guys, welcome to another video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And this video is the reason why I didn't post really recently. It's because for this past 10 days, I've been working on a huge documentary for my INS project. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. Immigration was not easy, and it never will be. The immigrants had to go through many obstacles such as leaving family, learning literature, and most importantly, surviving. Their old country, as shown here, was found with famine, religious persecution, war, and overpopulation. At that time, immigrants thought it was appropriate to give away their life savings in order to escape all these displeasures. The first step of immigration was boarding the boat. As shown here, the boat was extremely crowded with immigrants from all over Germany, Italy, China, Ireland, and mostly England. This often repeated scene mostly occurred the first 5 decades after the Civil War. In the beginning, I mentioned that immigration is not easy. The steerage check is there to prove it. When you get onto the steerage check, you are packed like boxes on an unsanitary, completely exposed deck. The steerage check was the cheapest deck, but it cost an entire life savings just to send 1 or 2 family members. Many of these passengers included young women, young men, schoolmasters, and artisans. Hopefully, these sent members would raise enough money to send for the rest of the family. Conditions in the bottom deck were also drastic. People would die of disease, and when they did, they were thrown overboard. On both decks, however, they had to bring their own food, and if it went spoiled, they would still eat it. The rich and lucky immigrants would get the fancy first class deck, but most didn't. The immigrants thought this was all worth it to living a better life in America. Ellis Island was a 3-acre, low-lying building which was the main processing point for immigration. The building has a unique history that includes it burning to the ground and being pilfered through. It is Lumber Island, New York Bay. Ellis Island has processed over 12 million immigrants from 1892 to 1954. All immigrants processed received a humiliating and painful medical inspection. The inspectors also had 2 minutes to complete 32 background questions. The inspectors were legally allowed to change the immigrant's last name if it was too hard to pronounce. The immigrants also had to pass a nearly impossible literacy test. Any immigrants found with contagious diseases could be sent back to their home country. This often caused anxiety for the immigrants. After the immigrants were tagged according to their religion, language, and customs, they were also chalked according to their medical needs. After they had to counter the most hardest yet simplest part, waiting. The immigrants waited for hours in the main hall while the immigration inspectors decided their fates. This caused a lot of stress for the immigrants, and if the inspector said no, they could send the immigrants back to their home country. The immigrants that did pass the medical exam did not receive a very warm welcome. These political cartoons show the anti-foreign feelings felt by many Americans. The Americans considered immigrants as strikebreakers who were willing to work for less money and worse conditions, causing Americans to lose their jobs. Many immigrants who newly arrived to America lived in a neighborhood with the same people. These people followed the same religion, wore the same clothes, spoke the same language, and ate the same foods. Most of these neighborhoods were located in industrial areas where jobs were available. In fact, 3/4 people that lived in New York were immigrants. However, living in these neighborhoods caused conflict by allowing Americans to regain their prejudices and stereotypes. Most other immigrants that didn't live in a neighborhood lived in a 5-cent a spot lodging. These were illegal rooms located in a tenement building. The reason they were illegal is because they were highly unsafe. They were extremely crowded. They usually housed about 11 people in an 8 square foot space. They also lacked air. In fact, they lacked air so much that some people slept on roofs and windowsills just to breathe air. Most times, immigrants fell off the roofs and windowsills. immigration has shaped our nation in many ways. For example, Albert Einstein was an immigrant, and he is now the world-renowned inventor of the atomic bomb. You see, many important people were immigrants, and if we didn't have immigration, their creativity would not have been bestowed upon the world. Immigrants have many challenges, like being unwelcome or living in tenements. Immigration even led to conflicts, like them being strikebreakers. But in the end, the rewards, such as escaping famine, overpopulation, religious persecution, and war, were amazing. Overall, even after how terrible the journey was, the rewards were astounding. Now you know how an immigrant becomes an immigrant.